So I'm Heather. I'm a psych major and I'm getting ready to be a senior.
I'm Jeremy Saunders, and my major is in elementary education with a minor in Spanish. I'm a super senior, yes.
Today I leave for London, the Kingston University program, and we'll be there for about 5 weeks.
I will actually be abroad for 3 months, and I will be studying in Santander, Spain, which is in the northern region of Spain, and it's in the Universidad de Cantabria.
I just got an email about the psychology program and I was like, why not? I'll be going to school anyways, so why not do it somewhere else? Their accents attract me. I'm fascinated by their accents. I love learning about British culture. I'll watch any movie that has anything to do with British culture.
I really like the Spanish culture, the language, the people, the music a lot, and I think seeing that from the European perspective, because I've seen, bits and pieces of Latin American culture and Spanish here, but I just wanted to see the European parts too and just see how people are over there.
So it's going to be trying to figure out the dialect and all of that, and also just kind of adjusting to the culture, because even though you would think that like the United Kingdom and the United States would be very close, I'm sure it's also very different, and just kind of making sure not to offend anybody and that type of thing will probably be just kind of learning what's expected and what's not.
Okay. I think my biggest challenge will just be initially like opening up to people, getting to know people, and just like that initial culture shock, getting used to not speaking English all the time will just be very weird, but I think I'll be okay, and I think that'll just be the initial problem.
I would say probably I'm just really, just mainly the independence thing, just kind of trying to get out and that type of thing, but also like I love learning about new cultures. Love, love, love. And, I've even thought about joining the Peace Corps and stuff like that. Like, I love being in different cultures. So I just think it'll be an awesome opportunity to kind of, like, immerse myself in someone else's culture and embrace it.
Also, a minor in Spanish looks really good on a resume. That's not the main thing. But for teachers, if I'm going to be a teacher, it looks really good for me to have a Spanish background with the increase of Spanish-speaking students in the classroom, and I want to be able to connect with them better as well. They were a little surprised at first. They didn't really expect it from me, because I usually just like to stay in my little comfort zone, but they know I do like to travel, so they knew I would like this experience, and it was mainly a support with my parents. They were unsure financially, but with help from the College of Education Abroad, that was a lot better. And my friends, they were kind of like, we're going to miss you for 3 months, and we're really jealous of you, but overall they were just supportive and said, be safe, have fun.
Friends were excited for me. My family is terrified. I'm best friends with my mom, and I don't know what she's gonna do. But they've all been super supportive. Helping out financially, and people that have been abroad in my family have all give pointers and stuff like that. They've all been helpful, but my family is definitely terrified. But they're excited for me. I've been working. I work 2 jobs and saving up. It's not really been extra demanding out of me. My family has helped a lot. I've sent out letters to different people. Like my doctor even gave me some money because I've had him since I was like this big. But at the same time, like there's ways to make it happen. And, I was definitely like, oh my gosh, I do not have the money to do this. But when it comes down to it, I've gotten everything together, so it's not as bad as you think it'll be. I do advise going to the information session, whether or not you think you can afford it or not. There are ways to do it. You can use financial aid. Like I said, you can reach out to people. You know, your family will help you. Like whatever it is, like you can make it happen. Also, just look into it and kind of see. You know, don't just expect that you're not going to be able to do it. Best decision I ever made, to the point where I'm supposed to graduate in the spring, but instead of graduating on time, I think I'm going to go back for a semester. It was an awesome experience, best decision I ever made.
Overall, it was just amazing. The people I met, especially with my host family, that was an incredible experience. Like all the culture I got to see, and like getting to speak Spanish every day. At first it was hard to just like get used to it, but then once you get in the flow of things, and just like when it started warming up over there, getting to go to the beach every day, like making Spanish friends, and then making friends from here, UNC Charlotte and the other universities, and just like having fun with the culture and the language. It was just incredible.
I really enjoyed going to Oxford and learning about the history behind Alice in Wonderland. That was super awesome. I actually got his manuscript printed, so that was a really cool souvenir to bring home.
Memories traveling to the different places, like Barcelona was beautiful, and just like Madrid with the whole group as over time, and then at the end, like knowing that we had to separate from this group, and just all the time we spent together, like the amazing things we did, it was just, that's like the biggest memory. The academic side, it was, for this part, it was a little bit easier, I think, than, it was more laid back, more group work, more like, just a little bit of reading, not too much homework than here. It was more focused on culture, getting to know Spain and the people there.
Also, I wanted to learn, just wanted to like broaden my horizon, and I definitely think I did, and to the point where I've lived here all my life and this isn't enough now. Like, I want to go do the Peace Corps or do something, like, they told me before I left, once you get the travel bug, like, you keep going, and it's true. kind of not ready to just stay here now. Concord, North Carolina is not doing it for me now. Kind of want to go out and explore. Okay, culture shock. We were warned about it going over there. Also, I'm a psychology major, so I kind of know a bit about it. So I kind of expected it, which I think made it a little easier for me to handle it. I don't know, it's a lot more relaxed over there, and I feel like people integrate better over there. I mean, I don't want to say better. That was one thing that I had to really, the whole time, consciously make myself, like when I would hear somebody say, like, oh, well, Americans do this, I'm like, well, it's not better, it's just different. It's been an adjustment coming back, but, I mean, it's manageable. So probably the most rewarding thing was just learning about the history. I've always been, one of the reasons I picked London was because I've always been interested in, like, English history. Always learning about, like, you know, the royal family and things like that. So we went to Hampton Court Palace, and I watched the Tudors. So it was really cool to see that that's where Henry VIII lived. And it was just interesting to kind of, like, connect the things that I've learned about in movies and things like that I had learned in the history to the actual places, whereas in America you can't really do that. So that was probably my biggest thing. It was just interesting to, like, finally see what I was learning about. If anyone asked me if they should study abroad, I would say do it. Use every resource you have. Save. Be prepared to budget. So go out, explore. Really try to meet the locals. And don't just meet one group of locals, because one group of locals is going to be very different, just like it is here in America. So try to meet all different kinds of people and let them tell you, what is expected of you socially and where you should go. But I definitely recommend studying abroad.
Definitely encourage you to do it. You won't regret it. I promise you that. No matter, because for me at first it was a lot about, I'm a person who has to know all the plans, like, how much is it going to cost? What are we going to do? Stuff like that. How's it going to affect me? Is it going to, how's it going to affect my professional career? Stuff like that. But to really experience what you've learned here and take it over to a new experience in different culture. So I would definitely say it would be a good decision. Professionally, academically, culturally, it'll make you a better person, and and you get to travel the world at the same time, so you can't really lose.